Hi, I'm Kendra with WTMAstrology, and today I am talking about Taurus and Virgo compatibility. So in Taurus and Virgo, you have two earth signs. So you have one, Taurus being the earth fixed modality, and then you have Virgo being earth mutable modality. So there's going to be a lot of things that these two signs have in common. This is going to be a trine aspect, meaning that they're 120 degrees away from each other in the zodiac, which is basically another way of saying they're in the same element. So there's just a lot of compatibility here on a very surface level. Some of the ways that these signs are compatible, they are, again, they're both earth signs, so they're both very sensible. They both, they kind of operate from a place of groundedness, meaning that neither one of them are going to be super dramatic unless they have other things going on in their chart. They're not going to be super dramatic. They're going to be pretty relaxed generally. Earth is generally fairly relaxed. They're not super emotional like water. They're not super passionate and abrasive like fire can be. There's just a lot of good sense that goes on between these two, and they can be really understanding of each other in that way. Taurus is going to be a lot more concerned with kind of accumulating wealth. They can be pretty possessive and things like that. They're going to be a lot more fixed and steady, meaning that there's not a lot of wavering going on with Taurus. This is probably the most stubborn sign of the zodiac. All of the fixed signs are going to be pretty stubborn, but Taurus is probably the most stubborn in the zodiac. So that's pretty much where Taurus is coming from. They're coming from a stability, being able to decide on something and stick to it long term. And then you've got Virgo, which is more mutable. And Virgo is a lot more about activity, day-to-day routine. Where these two signs might differ is just the way they handle routine. Taurus is going to be pretty, again, fixed in the way that they do things, their ideas about things, the kinds of routines they have. And then, you have Virgo, which is going to be more about efficiency. So they're going to be a little bit more adaptable as far as how they out their routines. They're going to be more about finding the best way to do something, improving things. That's going to be where Virgo is coming from, and both have their place. So they're going to be really understanding of each other, just being that they're both going to have that grounded energy, the grounded earthy energy. They're not going to be causing a lot of drama and chaos for one another. They're both going to have kind of a relaxed approach to most things. So again, just that earthy compatibility. There's not a lot of disagreement in their styles. There can be differences in their approach, but I'll get to that in a minute. Taurus can be appreciative of Virgo's intellectual capability and their ability to. Virgo's a very intelligent sign, being ruled by Mercury. So generally, they're going to be really appreciative of Virgo's ability to organize. Taurus would appreciate an organized environment, but they don't always have the motivation themselves. So they're going to appreciate Virgo's ability to improve and to grow things. Taurus, again, that's about growing, but growing through kind of, maintaining and staying stable, whereas Virgo is about improving by finding new approaches, finding the most efficient way to do things. So they're going to be really appreciative of each other, just in the sense they both have that drive to grow things, and they both have that drive to keep things stable, and they might have somewhat different approaches, but it's going to be they're both going to be pretty stable and have that earthy energy. Some things that could cause issues between these two is, because Taurus is so fixed and Taurus does have these ideas about how they want things to be done, Virgo's adaptability and Virgo's ability to kind of come at things from a different perspective, finding the most efficient way, trying to find a new way to do something that Taurus has been doing the same way, perhaps for a very long time, that can be kind of an advantage to Taurus. Again, very, very stubborn. So they might have a little bit of a problem with Virgo trying to improve what they've already kind of decided that it's good enough and that it works for them. They've been doing it this certain way forever, and they might not really appreciate trying to come in and improve something or show them a different way to come at a certain thing. I've noticed that a lot of Virgo energy, and that's pretty much where their mutable nature comes in. A lot of people don't really see how Virgo is a mutable sign, but Virgo is much about finding new approaches, adapting and improving by trying different things, trying different approaches. So that's going to be the mutable nature of Virgo. So Taurus isn't always going to appreciate that. Taurus really likes to maintain, really likes to keep this certain kind of routine, the certain approach that they have. Once they've decided they're comfortable with something, it can be hard for a Taurus to change it. They don't always appreciate Virgo trying to change it. And then Virgo is going to be frustrated with Taurus not wanting to listen to them because Virgo really wants to have things done their way. That's another thing, is that Virgo likes to adapt and likes to change and find different approaches, and they pretty much want everyone on board, everyone to get on board with that, because they know that their approach is going to be intelligent, their approach is going to be efficient. They've tested out their different ways, and by the time they're coming to you and telling you, hey, we should try it this way, they're pretty decided on the fact that this is going to be the most efficient way to get this thing done. And Taurus' refusal to participate and refusal to adapt and change based on what Virgo is coming to them with, that can present conflict, because one really wants to try all these different things, trying to find the best way, and you know Taurus really likes the way that they already do things. So it can be difficult to make that work together, but essentially these are going to be very compatible signs. Again, they're both earth signs. They both have that grounded approach, a lot of drama and chaos into each other's lives, not a lot of emotion that neither one of them is particularly comfortable with, not a lot of passion and drama like fire could bring, and without having that nature that air can bring. While Earth is, more grounded, they're not necessarily going to want to deal with that aloof, detached nature, because they're not going to have those deep emotions. They're going to be, kind of more affectionate. They're going to be a little bit more touchy, being an earth sign. Earth signs are very physical, so they can get along in that way as well. There's just a lot of good, positive understanding that can happen here. So overall, a very good match. It's just going to be a matter of, Taurus learning to adapt a little bit to suit Virgo's, that adaptable nature of Virgo, the trying to find the most efficient way to do things that Virgo likes to do. And Virgo learning that, sometimes tried and true is the best way, and not to push Taurus to do things that they don't really want to do. Sometimes it's just, you got to relax, Virgo, because even though, yes, your way might be the most efficient, Taurus is all about comfort, and if they're not comfortable doing it, just let them do their thing. Just let them do it the way they want to do it. If it's not no skin off your back, don't try to control that situation. I've noticed Virgo can be very, they can be very abrasive at times when it comes to trying to push you to do things their way and do things the most efficient way, the way that they've figured out works the best for them. They can be kind of abrasive about that, even when someone is kind of uncomfortable changing their approach, and they can be kind of impatient, just wanting you to do things the right way. So just relax a little bit, understand there's more than one way to get things done. Both of you need to understand there's more than one way to get things done. And, again, this can be a very good learn to work together that way. Anyway, that was my video on Taurus and Virgo compatibility. I really hope you enjoyed it. And once again, I wanted to remind you that I do have relationship readings in my store. I have 90-minute full-length relationship readings, and I also have, relationship highlight readings, which are essentially just going to go over the highlights, the things that I see most prominent in your dynamic. And it would give you a lot more information than these videos, a lot more in depth. Anyway, once again, I really hope you enjoyed this and have a great day.